Hello friends, welcome to another one of my videos in this AWS Certified Machine Learning Specialty Exam training course. As I'm going through the different sessions and trainings for this certification, I'm trying to impart or share my knowledge through these videos. So I'm just hoping that somebody else who is also preparing alongside may be able to get some benefit, as well as can share their ideas and their findings as well, so that way we can help each other. So the next service that we are going to discuss is AWS Glue. Essentially there are two key services or two key components to it, that is AWS Glue Data Catalog and the Glue Crawlers. Okay, so when we talk about the Glue Data Catalog, it's basically a metadata repository for all the tables within a particular account. So for example, if in my AWS account in the S3 or under AWS S3 I have certain format of data or any form of structured data or tables present, then I can use the Glue Data Catalog to basically create catalogs. It will essentially create a schema interface, that would be in an automated fashion. So it will create an automated schema interface, and then all those schemas will also be versioned for our usability. Then second thing to understand here is it integrates really well with AWS Athena and Redshift Spectrum, schema and data discovery with AWS Redshift Spectrum. Next, talking about crawlers. Basically crawlers are services that help build the data catalog. So crawlers are more like or similar to the web crawlers you might have heard about, which basically crawl through the account, or basically crawl through, let's say for example in case of S3, crawls through the AWS S3 locations and identifies which services, or sorry, which data is present and what is the structure and the schema, and accordingly arranges the data. Okay, getting into more depth with data crawlers. Crawlers basically go through the data into the data within the locations that we specify, for example S3, and then they infer the schema and partitions. Now crawlers or glue crawlers basically can work with JSON data, Parquet files, CSV format data, and other relationally structured data as well. When we talk about services, it works really well with AWS S3, Redshift, and then RDS. Crawlers can be either scheduled to run, or they can also be run ad hoc or on demand basis. The only thing that we need to keep in mind is we have to have the specific IAM roles and credentials already defined in order to provide the required access to the data stores, basically in order for the crawlers to have the required access to these data stores. Okay, and then one more key thing to understand with this service AWS Glue is how to, when we use AWS Glue, whether it's the data partitions or the crawlers that help create the data partitions, we have to understand how the data is getting partitioned. So basically upfront, before we actually start creating our S3 partition, if we already have an idea that we want to basically create a schema and use that schema to query the data efficiently, then we can design, or we actually must design our structure of S3 data in such a fashion that helps our cause. For example, if we talk about, let's say we are trying to track or record information coming from a device which is sending sensor data every hour, then if we want to query the data primarily by time range, as in our focus is to query based on a specific period. For example, we only want data for a particular year or a month or a date, then the structure could be something like this, which is shown here, where we have partitioned the S3 locations on the basis of time, where every year will have a month and a date, and then the device specific information getting captured. On the other hand, if we want the data to be primarily queried on the device instead of any time range, then the device should be our key or the parent folder, within which we can have the data arranged in year, month, and date format like shown here. So again, depending on our use case, we should design and structure our S3 location to help our cause, and basically use this service and the partitioning in a more efficient way. So yeah, that is all that I wanted to cover for this service in from the perspective of exam. This is like a fairly simple service. I'll also try to create a hands-on video if possible for this service, but if not, this information, the theoretical information that I have shared here, should be good enough to get an understanding from the perspective of the exam. So I hope this video would be useful for people who are trying to prepare. And if you have any suggestions or comments, kindly leave those in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to take a look at them and respond. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.